Welcome back, everyone. Before we get started, don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments, share the lessons you took from this story. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Now, let's begin. My name is Brianna Carter, and for most of my adult life, my story looked like something out of a magazine. From the outside, everything appeared flawless. At 41, I was a tenured professor of business administration at Howard University in Washington, D.C., the youngest black woman in my department to achieve it. My husband, Malik, worked downtown as a partner in a prestigious law firm. We'd been together for 16 years, 15 of them married, and our life had fallen into a familiar, comfortable rhythm. Summertime barbecues in our backyard in Northeast D.C., quiet strolls with our rescue dog, peaceful Sunday mornings at Metropolitan AME, winter holidays visiting family in Atlanta. Our friends used to say they admired how in sync we were at dinner parties, how we finished each other's sentences without missing a beat. I bought into that image, sometimes more than I believed in the truth that lived behind closed doors. But the surface wasn't as smooth as it looked. Lately, Malik had started pulling away. His hugs felt shorter. His laughter didn't carry warmth anymore. And those late nights at work? They started piling up like unopened mail. I brushed it off, told myself it was just the pressure of big cases, the constant buzz of city life, maybe even the weight of trying to build something lasting for future generations. Then came Thursday night. The night everything shifted. Malik was in the shower, humming in that low baritone of his, water hitting the tiles hard. I sat on our bed, grading midterms, when his phone lit up on the dresser. For years, I never even thought about checking it. Trust had always been sacred in our marriage, a cornerstone. But something that night felt off. A chill ran down my spine. The screen glowed. A preview of a text appeared like a blinking warning light. Table for two at the Griot confirmed. Friday 8 p.m., window seat. As you like. She always loves that view. My heart skipped. The Griot was the most exclusive restaurant in the city. Malik and I had talked for years about going for our anniversary, but we never actually did. Now someone else had our table. Our window view. I told myself to stop, but my hands didn't listen. His phone was still unlocked from his music playlist. I swiped. Scrolled past group chats and work threads. And there it was. A full year's worth of texts, photos, and heart emojis exchanged between Malik and someone named Simone Ellis. I knew that name. She was the PR manager at Malik's firm. The one who always wore loud colors, rocked hoop earrings, and laughed a little too hard at company events. Photo after photo hit like a gut punch, Malik and Simone in matching shirts at a Nationals game, sipping rum punch on a rooftop in Anacostia, standing close together on the steps of the Supreme Court. Texts filled the screen. Missed you last night. That blue dress drives me wild. Counting the hours. I froze. The walls seemed to close in. The shower noise faded into the background, distant and meaningless. Everything I thought I knew about our marriage crumbled in seconds. Malik stepped out, steam trailing behind him like nothing had changed. You seen my black tie? He asked, casual as ever. Top drawer, I replied, my voice flat, my hands still trembling. That night, I lay stiff in bed next to him, pretending to scroll through my phone. My body unmoving, my thoughts racing. How many times had I excused his coldness as work stress? How often had I silenced my own intuition? Now every shared memory felt contaminated. The next morning, I made breakfast just like I always did, avocado toast, turkey bacon, strong black coffee. His favorite. I handed it to him as if everything was normal. Big day at work? I asked, searching his face for a trace of guilt. Yeah, he mumbled. New client presentation. Then he kissed my cheek and walked out the door. As soon as it closed behind him, I picked up the phone and called Human Resources. I need 3 days off, I told them. Family emergency. My voice didn't even shake. Then I sat at the kitchen table, gripping a mug of coffee that had gone cold, feeling the weight of 16 years pressing deep into my chest. I didn't know what I wanted. Revenge? Answers? Closure? But I did know one thing: I wasn't going to let this betrayal slide. If Malik wanted to take Simone to the griot, then they wouldn't be alone. I opened my laptop and searched for Simone Ellis. Her LinkedIn was pristine: Howard Alum, Delta Sigma Theta, self-proclaimed dog mom. Digging deeper, I found a tagged Instagram photo of her, with her husband, Andre Ellis, a software architect with a smile like a campaign ad. Their 5-year anniversary post was flooded with hearts and congratulations. I stared at that picture, wondering how it would feel to have your entire world flipped upside down. But I couldn't just call him. Couldn't destroy his life without a plan. So I did what I do best: I sent an invitation. Using my university email, I drafted a message. Dear Mr. Ellis. My name is Dr. Brianna Carter from Howard University. I'm organizing a panel on Black excellence in tech and came across your work. I'd love to meet for a conversation. I've reserved a table for us at the Griot this Friday at 8 p.m. Looking forward to connecting. By 6 p.m., he responded. Dr. Carter. It would be an honor. Friday at 8 works perfectly. My pulse pounded in my ears as I read his reply. Next, I made a call to the Griot. Good evening, this is Brianna Carter. I'd like to request a window table, if possible near the Hamilton party. Yes, Malik Hamilton. We're working together on a community initiative and would love to celebrate close by. A pause. Then the hostess replied. Noted. We'll have you nearby. I ended the call and exhaled. Now, all that was left was to wait. Friday night came with thick summer air and music pulsing from passing cars. I slipped into a deep emerald dress, a bold color Malik once said was too loud for formal dinners. I twisted my braids into a knot and wore gold hoops, my graduation gift from Grandma. As I walked into the Griot, the maitre d' greeted me with a smile. Dr. Carter? Right this way. The window table sparkled under dim light. Outside, the streets buzzed with life. I ordered a bourbon neat to calm the fire building inside me. Andre arrived just after 8. Tall, confident, tailored in a navy suit. Dr. Carter? He asked, extending a hand. Andre, thank you for coming, I said. We shook hands, sat down. He spoke passionately about mentoring Black youth in STEM, and I listened, but my eyes kept drifting to the door. At 8:17, they walked in. Malik and Simone. He wore the gray suit I bought him for his 40th birthday. She shimmered under the candles, her hand brushing his as they laughed and took their seats in a booth within perfect view. Their knees touched. Their bodies leaned close. Andre noticed my distraction. You all right? He asked. I forced a smile. Just a long week. We ordered catfish, greens, mac and cheese. I watched Malik and Simone share dessert. Saw her lean in, whisper something. Her laugh rang out like glass. A knot twisted deep inside me. I excused myself. Walked slowly past their table, heading to the restroom. And that's when it happened. Malik looked up. Our eyes met. He froze. Simone followed his gaze, and her face drained of color. In the restroom, I moved with purpose. My breath came in slow, measured pulls as I reapplied my lipstick, steadying myself in the mirror. My phone buzzed, a message from Andre. Everything okay? I returned to the table, forcing composure. Andre looked up with quiet concern. You seem shaken. Is there something I should be aware of? His voice was gentle, inviting honesty without pressure. Time seemed to slow. I didn't invite you here to talk about tech, I admitted. He raised an eyebrow, waiting. Your wife, she's here. With my husband. They're on a date. The words came out raw and heavy. Andre blinked, trying to absorb what I'd said. Simone? Here. I gave a small nod, subtly motioning in their direction. He turned slowly, gaze following mine until he saw them, Malik and Simone, their heads bowed together, their laughter soft under the lantern's glow. Neither of us spoke for a long moment. Then Andre inhaled shakily, his hands beginning to tremble. I never thought she'd. His voice broke off. We sat there, two strangers linked by pain neither of us had asked for. Finally, he looked at me. What do we do now? I just want them to know we know. No drama. No public explosion, I replied. We finished dinner in tense silence, the air thick with everything unspoken. When dessert arrived, I stood up. Andre followed without a word. Together, we walked over to their table. Their laughter faded the moment they saw us. Malik looked up, his face shifting from confusion to dread in seconds. Bree, he began, his voice caught in his throat. Simone's eyes widened, her lips parting. I leaned down, my voice steady and low. Enjoying dinner, Malik? His grip on the fork tightened. What are you doing here? I didn't respond to him. Instead, I turned to Simone. It's nice to finally meet you in person. I heard you love the view from this window. Simone swallowed hard and looked at Andre. Please, let me explain. He shook his head, his pain written clearly across his face. Not here. Not like this. For a few seconds, all four of us were frozen, caught in a storm of consequences. I gently set a folded napkin on their table. You two should talk, I said quietly, my voice shaking, but firm. We're done here. Andre looked at Simone one last time, then turned and walked away. I followed, out into the warm night. Outside, the city lights blurred as we stood by the curb, breathless and silent. Andre finally spoke. Thank you. I'd rather know the truth, even if it hurts, than live in a lie. I nodded. Me too. We exchanged numbers, unsure what it meant, only that it felt necessary. He called a cab. I walked, letting the city's motion carry me forward, each step feeling like a free fall. At home, Malik was waiting. The lights were low. His tie was loosened. He started speaking the moment I walked in. Bree, let me explain. Please. His voice trembled. Gone was the confidence, replaced now by panic. How long? I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. 7 months. But it didn't mean anything. I let out a cold, joyless laugh. 7 months meant nothing? You risked everything for nothing? He reached for me. I stepped back. I need space. I grabbed a duffel bag and headed for my sister's place in Silver Spring, leaving Malik alone in the dark. The next week passed in a blur. I didn't sleep much. My phone buzzed endlessly with Malik's apologies. Flowers arrived daily. Emails full of promises, begging for forgiveness. Simone, too, left dozens of voicemails. I ignored every one of them. Andre sent one message. She moved out this morning. I still can't wrap my head around it. I replied simply. Neither can I. At night, I lay on my sister's couch staring at the ceiling, my memories replaying like a film I couldn't stop. The life I'd built was suddenly foreign, unfamiliar. But beneath the heartbreak, there was a strange clarity, like the stillness after a storm. 3 days later, I returned home to pack more things. Malik was gone. His side of the closet empty. On the dresser, a note. "I'm sorry, Bree. I'll sign whatever you need. I just want you to find happiness again." There were no explanations. No pleas. I felt nothing. Just a slow, dull ache. Then my phone buzzed. A message from Andre. "Want to grab a coffee?" I nearly said no. But something in me softened. I agreed. We met at Sanka Cafe near campus. Andre looked tired, worn down by betrayal. We didn't talk about Malik or Simone. Instead, we talked about everything else: work, childhood, our favorite jazz albums, hidden food gems in the city. He made me laugh, really laugh, for the first time in what felt like forever. It was quiet. Easy. Healing. When we said goodbye, I realized something surprising. I felt lighter. The following months unfolded with their own rhythm. Malik tried everything to win me back: flowers, gifts, dinners. I ignored it all. Eventually, I blocked his number when the messages turned desperate. Simone left the law firm and moved back to Chicago. Andre finalized his separation. I poured myself into work, my students, and my family. The house was quieter now, but I filled it with sound: Nina Simone records on repeat, the ones Malik never appreciated. Andre and I stayed in touch. Sometimes we met for walks at Meridian Hill Park. Other times for poetry slams at Busboys and Poets. Our conversations deepened over time. We spoke honestly, traded stories of heartache and hope, shared who we were beneath the armor. There were no expectations, just trust slowly blooming. The divorce finalized just before Christmas. My lawyer was efficient. Malik didn't fight it. He moved into a condo in Shaw and buried himself in work. I saw him occasionally, at alumni events, mutual friends' parties. He looked older. Quieter. Tired. I no longer felt pain, just peace. In the spring, I moved to a new apartment off H Street. It was smaller, but bright and full of light. I filled it with houseplants, stacks of books, and framed photos of family. Andre visited often, helped me build shelves, taught me to cook his mom's gumbo. One evening, after a long day exploring the National Gallery, we sat on the balcony together, city lights twinkling beneath us. He reached for my hand. No grand speeches, just a gesture of warmth and understanding. Summer arrived, and with it, a new rhythm. Lectures. Volunteering. Slow Sundays. Andre and I traveled to New Orleans for a festival, danced beneath oak trees, ate beignets at dawn. There were no labels. No pressure. Just two people learning how to live again. I found myself smiling more. Dreaming again. The pain hadn't disappeared, but it no longer defined me. A year passed. At Howard's homecoming gala, Malik approached me. He looked leaner, silver creeping into his hair. "You look happy, Bree," he said quietly. "I am," I replied. He gave a small smile, regret flickering in his eyes. "I hope you find everything you deserve." I nodded and walked back to my table. Andre was there, laughing with my colleagues. As the music swelled, he extended a hand. I took it. We danced. Later, walking home beneath the city's soft amber glow, he squeezed my hand. "You ever think about the future?" he asked. I turned to look at him, the man who had been a stranger the night my world collapsed, and smiled. "I do now." And for the first time in a long, long time, the world didn't feel broken. It felt wide open. And I was finally ready to step into it, one foot, then the other, led not by fear, but but by hope. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, comment, and share with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss another powerful story drop.